We are back for another Christian review of regular books, and today we are discussing Alone with You in the Ether by Olivie Blake. If you've never seen one of these videos before, here's how it's gonna go down. First, I do my regular review, what you know and love to expect from a book review, and then we get into my Christian review, and that's where I go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer, or frankly, anyone wanting to read it. I give more caveats and any more information you may need about these reviews at the video that's pinned to the top of the playlist. Or you should be able to click here somewhere. For now, let's go ahead and get into my regular review. Alone with You in the Ether is a romance book. However, that's not Olivie Blake's standard style of writing. She more writes fantasy or dark academia, so this was a very unique spin on her standard writing. I heard about this book through a TikToker who could not stop raving about it. It was like one of her favorite books of the entire year, and it seemed really interesting, and I really wanted to get a feel for Olivie Blake's writing. This book may not have been the way to do so, and that's okay. What I did appreciate about this book is that it's a very heavy romance story that kind of keeps you engaged in the emotions and the drama that has to do with the two main characters, both the male and the female main character. Where I struggled with the book was the toxicity of these characters. A lot of this book deals with mental health, which is a great thing to discuss and process through, but it definitely had it in a way that could not be affirmed. However, the book maybe makes it feel like it could be affirmed. I struggled a lot with the way the dynamics happened in the relationships, mainly due to their toxicity and unhealth and mental health deterioration. And because of that, I rated it 3 stars. However, as I stated, I do think this is a book that a lot of people could really enjoy. And I think it has really interesting representation that I think a lot of people would want to read. If you want to see everything that I'm reading and rating in real time, you can do so by following me on Goodreads. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and I do have my own YouTube channel to stay more up to date with my reading and life journey. All the links are down below in the description box. Now let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. The first category I always love to touch on is smut or spice because it's popular. And yes, there is a fair bit of spice throughout this book. There's also just a lot of discussion around sex and spice specifically. A lot has to do with the relationship itself, with how the main characters are processing or thinking through their relationship or other relationships that deal a lot with sex or sexuality. I wouldn't say there are a lot of scenes that are explicitly described, but I don't know that it matters when you're dealing with sex that much. And I do know that there are believers who don't want to read anything about that because that alone could be a temptation. So if that is for you a temptation, this probably isn't the book for you. The second category is explicit language. And again, yeah, there is a lot of explicit language throughout this book. The characters themselves are dealing with quite a bit of mental health issues. And I think that is why they were written in the way that they were. However, it is not avoidable and it is more extensive than a lot of other books. I think this book is probably appropriate for ages 18 and up, more so because of the mature themes that have to do with the relationship dynamics and mental health. And again, the explicitness of the language and of the spice, I think is something that would be best for an adult to make those choices over. Before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all of these Christian reviews of regular books, plus me and my mom's podcast, The Journey We Share. On top of it helping you stay up to date, it also helps us know that the content we're providing is something that you guys want to continue seeing so that we can provide free content to you. So please don't forget to do those things before you go, and we cannot wait until we see you on the next one.